Hello, and welcome back to the Everwind Chronicles, late edition. I'm Doug, your dungeon master, and we are a group of friends and storytellers telling you a story through Dungeons & Dragons. So, as is our tradition, we're going to start off with a couple of questions for the players to answer in character or for their character. So, with that in mind, the first question: how does your character want to be seen by others? And you can't say they don't.
that used to be the answer. A long time ago, that was the answer. She did not want to be seen. I mean, now Assertus wants to be seen as someone who's trying to do good to the world, like, in some fashion. I mean, she doesn't want to be perceived in, like, the way that you, like, pedestal people who are doing good. Like, she doesn't want to be memorialized in, like, already that, like, the whole, like, that the city, like, and that she was being called, like, queen of, like, she's, like, already, like, that's a little too far, like, because that's an easy thing to fall from. And so she's, like, she wants to be known for doing good for the people that it matters that they know. And for those who don't know, doesn't matter. Her name can be forgotten so long as the deeds have done something. Like, the deeds stick. I think she cares more about the fact that, like, her good is not in vain, rather than her name be the memorialized part of it. Though if people want to call her name favorably, she's not going to say no, but sounds better than being screamed at while you're running.
Doing as much good as you can, but not caring about the fame.
Yeah, the celebrity part of it, I think, makes her really anxious because all she has to do is have one bad day. And, like, then it doesn't matter. Then she's back to where she all started again. It's like, it doesn't matter how much good she did. She did something. She fucked up once, and that wasn't all she had to do. She's worried about being canceled.
Aren't we all?
I'm very happy that I don't have social media.
I mean, I think Val's a little bit in the same boat. Maybe not so much as, like, wouldn't be seen as doing good or anything like that, but, like, I don't think he's ever really cared what other people have thought about him or how other people perceive him or view him, but he does care how, like, his people see him and view him. Like, he wants to be someone that's there for him, that's emotionally supportive, that shows up. He just wants to be a good friend. I mean, anything else, just wants to be there. Yeah.
I know you said not to say it, but I'm going to say it. Stoic doesn't want to be seen. Like, because he feels that no matter what he does, he's never going to be as good as Shadow Stoic. Like, it's kind of weighing on him a little bit. So he's still, like, the people that know him, he still wants to be viewed as a value to the team. But, like, he does not want to be seen by the outside world right now because he's, like, not as good as that guy. So
true.
He's struggling a little bit.
I mean, this is a guy that started, like, a multi, national conglomerate here. Yeah.
Friends everywhere.
Can't you be that guy?
He's both above board and below board. Like, that's how good he is.
Yeah.
Rowan just wants to be seen as capable. Like a force to be reckoned with, but, like, a sturdy fighter, I think.
Oh, Sarah does want to be hated. But, like, hated by, like, the people that, like, they have a good story about why they hate her, and it's also justified why they hate her. Like, if you're gonna hate me, I better have been worthy of that hate. If you're just, like, petty hating me, that's boring. Like, let it be because I, like, destroyed your entire existence.
Because you made me a slave to a whole...
Listen, that one is she's working on repenting.
Okay.
She's gonna try to fix that one.
Because you cut their balls off.
Yes. Yes. That's a very valid reason to hate me. I did chop that man's balls off.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I also killed him, so he only hated me for a short period of time. But, yeah, if you're gonna hate me right.
Fair enough. Second question. What sense do you rely on the most?
Anxiety.
It's not common sense.
It's really as a party.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably sight or sound. Just like the specifically around like her ability to perceive what's happening around her. Because she's not afraid of being in the dark if she still could hear, and she's not afraid of not being able to hear anything if she can see. But if she can't do both, like there's no way for her to be able to like. Her sense of like touch is not strong enough to be able to keep her safe in that way.
I think Rowan is the exact opposite. Because I was gonna say touch. I think because she's very tactile, and because you can feel like the breeze. She has to gauge like the breeze when she's shooting an arrow. It's not necessarily what she sees because that could be altered, but like how is the wind going and like feeling when the arrow is in the right place. And I think she is very tactile, but she does come from like a darker place. So she's very good with like seeing things and being able to perceive things, but I think for her it is that like there's a tactile thing to how she goes about everything.
Stoic runs off his sense of justice.
The very well known like sixth sense, really.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I was thinking about this just now because it was just asked, but like as a monk, you are kind of trained to be present in all your senses, right? Like that's kind of it's part of the training. But I think there might be a little bit more on, I don't know, maybe a little bit more on like touch, and because I mean, as a fighter, he's someone that needs to be able to, you know, touch the person he's hitting. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with that for right now. That's an interesting one. I hadn't really ever thought about it before, but because he's very in tune with all, tries to be in tune with all of his senses.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's this her also uses a lot of like her like intuitive emotional sense, because she's a very emotionally charged person, and while she wants to be someone who makes decisions from logic and is actively trying to be that person, I don't think she can fully pull herself out of like that like gut feeling of like something doesn't feel right and I can't logic my way into explaining this yet, but I know something is like off. And now I need to find it. Like now it's like I have to figure this out. Like why do I feel like this? So I think she's, as much as she's trying to be a better logical approach to problem solving and being a good like logical ally to her friends, I think she still heavily relies on gut as like the driving curiosity point.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I can see that.
Makes sense. It was there.
Wow.
It was just so wholesome.
You just had the moment there.
I loved it.
A pun moment.
Awesome. All right. So, where we last left off, the party is in the abyss, the infinite plane of infinite layers of demons. Basically, a plane of endless nightmares and horror. They have gone there on a mission trying to find the Emerald Dragon, a very, very powerful being who went to try and rescue some celestial children who were all, a lot of other celestial creatures have gone there trying to rescue them and are in a certain place within the abyss that they have to try and get to, which is a long journey through the kind of into the deeper parts. They have a guide, a blood fairy named Hazelwick Bloodwillow, who's worked out a deal to guide them, and they have made their way through a couple of different layers, fighting a blood kraken with some servants in a blood swamp. They found themselves in the barbed fields, which was a barren, rocky land full of barbed wire, and a horrible barbed wire monster that Asherak, Demon of the Forbidden, or Ashrek the Motherless, who, after some interesting tactics, barely managed to make it an escape out of the barbed fields, where they found themselves in the lair called the Flesh Forge. The Flesh Forge being a land entirely made out of flesh and muscle and bone and hair and just organic matter. They took a short rest and then started making their way forward along a path that was semi-protected, dealing with a couple of traps along the way, which apparently was just the layer itself shifting and changing. But eventually found their way to a mansion, or rather a sort of horrific imitation of a mansion. It had the shape and feel of a mansion in a lot of ways, but if you looked closely, it was made out of bone and skin and all kinds of other horrible things. And there they were led by a creature that they simply called Pet. A weird, gangly, mangled spider-type creature with sort of a human-like torso that slid back into its body with this kind of white face and long black hair, which led them to the ruler, or in progress ruler, known as the Seamstress, a demon lady who basically makes demon abominations, and it's apparently very good at it. And they went there trying to see if they could find something that might be a big enough distraction to try and make it past the Mother of Demons, to distract her while they go past her keep to try and get to the place where the Emerald Dragon and everybody else supposedly are. A place called Remnant. And so they met the Seamstress and talked with her, and found out that she could offer a fairly large larva of sorts that would, if it ate something, grow incredibly large, and might be, it's a chance, it might be enough to distract her. The other option, of course, being what Hazelwick believes is the sure thing, is finding the missing pieces of the amulet that would return the Prince of Nowhere, who apparently has a long-lasting, huge hatred of the Mother, and maybe her to him. And so they, at the moment, have decided they probably are kind of leaning against the larva. I'm totally lost the word. I wanted to say slug. The larva route, as it would be kind of hard to manage and keep from eating anything the whole journey. Nor did they want to wait the 8 days. She said she could possibly make something that might help contain it for travel. And so they are now asking her if she has anything else for sale that might be helpful. And so that is where we'll pick things back up.
Yes. Something that would follow orders dutifully and could travel as a companion and a skilled fighter, or as skilled as one can be, to aid us in our travels.
Yes.
I see. And she says, her bloodstained fingers still working as she talks, never really looking up at you, and doesn't, like, her eyes seem to be scarred over anyway, and she seems to be looking at you through eyes in the walls of this room and through a appendages and things that apparently can come out of parts of the room and take closer looks at things. With Pet still in the room, standing to the side, watching the exchange as she says, "Well, many have come for just such a thing. I suppose I might have a few things you might be interested in. Pet, would you be a dear and go prepare the gallery?" And Pet starts shambling off to the side where a couple of doors open, and he shambles out.
Thank you very much. I appreciate this opportunity to look at your work.
Of course. As an artist, I am always seeking inspiration. What is your story?
My story. I am a child of the desert. I was left there without any parentage. I was raised by other children on the streets until I walked out into the deeper deserts on my own. Met a woman who said that she would take good care of me. She ended up being quite a terrible person. And I murdered her. And then tortured a lot of people for a while. And then I met these people. And now I'm in a strange little family. I used to use tools very similar to these, and I point to the flaying knives, to brutalize men, specifically human men.
Oh.
They peel very easily.
You had no parents?
No.
That's very sad. But perhaps not as sad as having them can be.
What do you mean by that?
She reaches down, gets another unidentified piece of organic matter, and just like on the table. Well, my mother was not very nice. No matter what I did, it was never good enough. And my father was not there. But she was far worse than someone being gone. She never worked herself, so I learned to sew. And learned to make lots of pretty things for lots of pretty people. But it was never good enough. There was always something wrong. It's not what a mother is supposed to be, I don't think. Or maybe it is, but I just didn't like it. Took me a long time down here to find her. You know, it was always cold. where we grew up, where I grew up. Your mother is supposed to provide and supposed to keep you warm. Now she does.
I kind of look around.
Same.
Uh-huh.
Where's mother?
Would you like to see?
Your mother.
Yes. And she kind of reaches over, like basically into kind of shadow. Like the area she's sitting in is very dark, except for like right above her, and she sort of reaches into this darkness, and then pulls like kind of with a unfurling, so to speak, a cloak of sorts, and kind of holds it in front as it furls up over in front of the table, and you see what looks like what was maybe a human flattened and spread out into the rough shape of a cloak. You can see the kind of stretched out features of a face.
Cassandra.
And like, tooth, a tongue kind of lolling out and pressed flat, and with like just, you can see there's still a little bit of texture of everything still there. And then you see the eye open and look at you.
I don't move, I don't blink, I don't breathe. And I look up at her. Did you find it difficult to flay her?
Flying is not as difficult as pressing like this. The trick was to keep her alive, but I've gotten very good at keeping things alive as I work with them. Now she keeps me warm whenever I go out. And then she shoves it back into the shadow.
It is truly impressive work.
Thank you. But I still have a long way to go to be as good as the master.
Well, it appears your hard work continues to pay off.
It progresses.
As all good things do.
It's a shame the master left. I could have learned so much more from him, or his apprentice. But with them gone, I can learn much from the layer itself.
Did he leave recently, or was this a long time ago?
I don't know. I don't pay a lot of attention to time.
I understand.
It was not recent to my mind.
I had heard of him, but I had not heard that he had an apprentice.
Oh, yes. He was very skilled. He was left in charge when the master left, but I think he took advantage of him being gone to escape to the material plane.
May I ask who the apprentice was?
Well, we simply called him the Bone Man.
The Bone Man.
Yes.
I see.
He was very gifted. But I think I'll be better now because I'm here still.
Yes. I imagine the material plane does not have quite the same quality of material in which to play with.
Oh, quite the opposite.
Oh.
He's surrounded by quality material. But it has drawbacks as well, because here the environment begins to reflect its ruler. It's a place of infinite creativity for the right person. But I'm sure he has plenty of opportunity as well.
Did he ever say why he left, other than just the master being gone?
I suppose he did not want to be enslaved and thought if the master returned that he would not be free. Perhaps he saw it as his chance to get free.
Did the master create him?
I don't know. I don't think so. Creations are different somehow. It's hard to describe. I was not created. I became. And if the master ever returns, I'll be ready.
I hope that you are... I hope that the materials that we have provided will help you on that journey.
She doesn't say anything. Just keeps working.
Yep.
Sickening noises occasionally coming from her work as she tears a skin or slaps more things onto the ground or onto the table. But then eventually, finally, the doors open again and Pet comes back in. It's ready. Very good. Go and have a look at the wares and let me know what you're interested in.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Friends?
So Pet takes you in basically down kind of a long, kind of darkened hallway through another set of double doors at the end as you guys follow behind. And in this hall you see rows of what look like kind of rooms. And you see some of them are basically just kind of blank stone boxes, so to speak. And you see they're open on the side to you. But then some of them have environments, for lack of a better word.
Just like a display room.
Yeah. A gallery.
Mm-hmm.
Start with the weakest. And it walks you over to a room that has kind of a barren, not completely barren, but like a dead landscape, like dead grass, dead trees. And you see a creature that looks more traditionally demon, but like it's made entirely of muscle and kind of weird skin.
Oh, snap.
That's your reaction to the demon.
I read my line flawlessly.
Good old roll 20.
Just 1 second.
I wrote down gallery, number 1, Flesh Boy.
This reminds me of like loading pictures in the 90s. You know, just slowly loads
The
thing.
dream. Wah, 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 wah.
Come back 4 hours later and you got like 25% of the picture.
Listen, I saw their hair. That's a flesh boy, all right.
Uh-huh.
Kind of cute.
Yeah, not bad. He can fly, hopefully. Got big old wings.
Bakresu,
Krezu?
Bakresu,
Bakresu. I thought you said butt.
very fearful, and claws that are poison.
What's its demeanor?
Is this horse gonna buck me?
Pretty much.
Hazelwick says, they're all going to be horrible, and you have to be stronger than it to keep it in line.
Do we feel stronger than it?
Yeah.
How tall is it?
I hope so. This is the weakest one. she
Yeah.
said.
It's about human-sized.
Okay.
You guys can roll a... what would this be?
Distorted nature check?
History.
Yeah, it's nature intelligence. Yeah, nature's fine.
I'll take a shot with it. Why not? Nope. That's an 8.
Hey, okay, I rolled a natural 19.
Ooh.
So we said nature 21.
Okay. It doesn't look terribly strong. Like, it looks horrible, like, but something about it just doesn't seem like it'd probably take normal soldiers, but you guys can probably handle it, no problem. Probably be fairly easy.
A beautiful creature. Does not seem particularly powerful, but quite a commanding figure.
And I'll show you the next.
Thank you.
So he shambles on forward to the next cell, which you can see is kind of looks like the closest thing you can come. It almost reminds you of a sewer, like a wet, kind of damp rock environment with some like kind of rotten kind of logs with moss, like dark moss, kind of dripping off of it and everything like that. And there on the back of the wall, probably about leg span of like 6 feet, is a very terrible looking spider. Switch it out here.
Oh.
It's a grave spider.
Grave spider.
She based it off of spiders from the ethereal plane. It can teleport,
That is exciting.
sort of.
Sort of.
Only it.
I see. It does not teleport others, just itself.
Yes.
I see.
It's like a blink spider.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
Precious, yes.
How big is it?
About 6 feet, like leg span.
Do we have a sense of how strong this thing is?
Yeah, roll a nature check.
If anyone wants to join me.
13.
That was not as good. 10.
Okay. 10, 13.
13, yeah.
You've fought kind of large spiders, I believe, once before. I think.
Yeah, there was that giant spider that was in the forest. We were trying to escape. The like magical one. The spider woman.
Oh, you're talking about...
No, not that.
Oh, okay.
I would say, I mean, look, giant spiders are a thing people would know about in the material plane. You get the impression this is probably stronger than that, but not terrible.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, then.
Find an interesting balance of, finding the. It feels like we're having to find like the biggest person in prison. And just go up and sock them and go.
Honestly, yes.
Yeah.
This is quite literally how it feels right now. I was like, how much do I think I could punch this thing?
Hazelwick says, that's basically the spirit. It's, I told you, everything is about strength down here.
Yeah, figuring that out. Getting a crash course.
So, he walks you to the next cell, which is mostly just blank stone, except for a humanish being that seems to be this weird mix of kind of bloody muscle and metal. Like it's just this weird patchwork of like a mix between like a golem kind of like magical metal type of construct and a fleshy creature with like weird, like looks almost like spider legs and other things kind of jutting off at random places. And the most disturbing thing perhaps being the very front being a perfectly normal human face that's like got this kind of insane kind of laugh, like it's a laughing face to it.
Has a brother that stays close by at all times. They're trying to get their what was it, their alchemy badge, whatever it was from the. That is horrible. I hate every second of that. That's nightmare fuel.
You can't unsee that.
You can't unsee it. Sarah has never been more like still in her whole life than to not show any emotional state on her person by what she is looking at. She's just like,
We call her Laughter.
What a beautiful name.
Very useful. She can cast magic of different kinds.
Ooh.
And can sculpt them.
To only hit the targets that wanted to be hit. I am very quickly deciding if this is if any one of us could actually deal with this creature.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea on that. Nope, that's a natural one.
Natural 20.
You got that juju over there.
Sarah's rolling really well today. So 22. Because I only have a +2 in my nature.
So you feel like, physically speaking, it's probably if you could get past the spells, basically, you feel like you could deal with her. You have no idea exactly what spell she's got up her sleeve, but physically, she kind of feels like the glass cannon type. You get that impression. So it's like a
Kindred. I feel her in the minute. I feel her instantly.
She can cast as powerful as a fireball, but with time, could learn.
That is good to know. Thank you very much.
Then one more.
More.
The strongest.
standing there creepily in the dark. That's all it is at this point.
So he walks you to the last one, which is a pure, just white environment. Not like a white floor, it's just white space. And floating in this space is two women that they look almost like this mix between monster and like almost doll-like.
No.
But like with the
Nope. Just gonna pass right back to the first one.
the hair kind of flowing, kind of floating with them as then you realize it's not really hair. It's like these kind of long, kind of thin tentacles, really, and tentacles kind of coming off of them in strange places, and they look like that.
I don't go to these websites for a reason. Weirdly enough, kind of looks like my sister.
Wow.
Mistress is very proud. She calls them sisterly love.
Can I tell
Are they attached?
They do not like to be apart.
Just emotionally attached.
Yeah. Can they speak?
Yes,
Just abyssal or common as well?
very common. I don't know what else.
Well, it would be nice to have a monster we could communicate with.
Oh, you didn't ask about the previous ones if any of those could communicate. Can they all communicate?
They can understand. Laughter can.
Communicate?
Yes.
And the sisterly love, what skill set do they possess?
They can cast magic as well. A bit more powerful. And can bring poison on the wind.
Poison on the wind? What does that mean exactly?
It can poison in a path. She calls it plague winds.
I see.
That could be dangerous.
I'm gonna roll, see if this was anybody
Yeah.
we could. If these two are anybody we can deal with.
4.
I got a 14.
17.
I've got a 12.
Okay.
11, sorry.
So, there's always going to be risk that there's something you don't know. But you've encountered a lot more powerful creatures than the impression you're getting from Pet. So you don't feel like you can't take any of them. It's just a matter of basically the more powerful they are, the harder they are to control or to keep control. And if they lose control at the wrong moment, it could be a problem. So it's like more benefits for a little bit harder control or less. And it's kind of like you got to kind of weigh the options. You feel like you could take them by yourselves, no problem. But again, if you lose it at the wrong time, you don't know what they'll do.
Do we get the feeling that they're hardy? Or do we get the feeling that they're another glass cannon?
Well, if you ask Pat, he'll say, they are tougher than they look. And they can use magical armor.
Are they capable of casting onto other people? In regards to, like, casting helpful additions?
They can make you fly.
And you said that their name is Sisterly Love. They go by that name as a pair.
Yes.
May I?
They're not entirely separate.
I understand. Would I be okay if I said something to them?
You can try.
Thank you. Sisterly Love.
You say that, and you can. This whole time they've just been sort of floating in place. You know, their eyes closed, and as you do that, they both go.
Hello. My name is Asura. I have been told that you are very, very powerful. Is this true?
They kind of like look at each other briefly for a moment, almost like mirrored motions, like looking at each other, and then. Why do you ask?
We are
They say in unison.
No. We are looking for a companion to bring along our journey. And you have been labeled the most powerful of all. Would you be interested in joining us?
To do what?
To cause a little havoc.
Possibly. What's in it for us?
Well, what are you looking for? What are your interests?
Freedom.
You help us reach our goal. We'd rather not bring you back to the material plane so you would be free to do whatever you wanted here.
They again kind of look at each other just briefly and. All right.
Can I do an insight check?
Sure.
I'll help you.
Natural 20.
Nice.
You get the impression that they are. You absolutely can't trust them. You absolutely get the impression they're probably just opportunists in the sense that they are. If they get a chance, you know, they will try to get out. You know, get out from under their control. And to be fair, with a natural 20, you feel like that's how all demons work, basically, and controlling them is a matter of strength. And so, you've been warned you can't trust any deals, basically.
Right.
So it's like it's always just a matter of strength.
Of course, we would require a little loyalty while we work together. We didn't want to preternaturally lose you along our journey. And I'm going to pull out my ring of loyalty.
You have a ring of loyalty.
I've been keeping it this whole time because it was one of the guys that I killed early on. One of you would have to wear this.
What's that?
A ring of loyalty.
What does it do?
If you die, you're dead. Nothing can return you. You would lose your sister forever. But those who are loyal to us, we keep safe. Because they keep us safe.
Devious. All right.
And to my understanding, this is above table. If I put that on that person, they can't take it off. Is that correct? Like a
no.
band?
It's
It's just a ring?
yeah.
For some reason, I thought it was like the person that they put on that person, like, it's because it's a band of loyalty. It
Yeah,
can't
no,
come
it's
off.
favored by spies who can't afford to fall into enemy hands. It's like a cyanide capsule in your tooth.
Gotcha.
That sort
So
of
is it
thing.
attunable? Because would they have to attune to it?
No, it's not attunable, it's just you wear it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's
because
just
it
a common.
doesn't really do
Okay.
much other than.
Damn, okay. Damn, I really thought it was like once it's on, it's locked on. Like, I would have to be the one to take it off.
Yeah.
Do I have anything that, like, if someone puts it on, they
Yeah.
can't take it off?
I don't have any like controlling items.
Fuck me. I'm gonna have to bluff it.
Or we'd have to see if Seamstress has anything
Yeah.
that could.
Nothing that I don't think
Yeah.
she would not want. Fair excessive price for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright.
Are you leaning towards taking them? Because I'm almost like, we just need something to help us distract. I feel like either of the first two
Honestly,
would do a
the very
fine.
first one.
I like the idea of something that just is flying around causing chaos, maybe throwing stuff at the house or picking people up and moving the, I don't know, or the teleporting thing.
Oh, something we have to consider. This, we're getting a pet. This is a lifetime commitment. So can't just dump it off at the first spot with.
But also, if we lose control, they're less likely
Yeah.
to cause. Not that we care necessarily
Sure,
about this
but I mean,
realm,
like,
but
spellcasters are.
helpful if they're not casting at you. Yes,
they're not casting as you. Yeah.
I
That's
don't
why I was
love
leaning towards the first guy,
spellcasters.
because I want somebody I can throw in front of a spell,
Yeah,
not someone that I have to duck their spell.
yeah.
Well, none of these are going to be anywhere near enough to distract Mother.
No.
Well, it's not to distract Mother. We're not worried about that.
No, it's if we run into another
I think it's more
barb
for.
creature, we only have to outrun them.
I assumed that we were using it for the House of the Drinker to sort
Yeah,
of cause
that's-
chaos while we were trying to sneak
Yeah.
somewhere else. So.
That's why I wanted a magic user, because I could do more damage than.
They can, and it sounds like they can take more hits than the crazy laughing lady. But I mean, that first monster looked like he was pretty beefy and could take some hits, but I don't
Yeah.
know that for sure. Because we all do enough damage as it is. I don't know if we really need more damage dealing. We
Yeah.
need more
Distraction.
People, yeah, more people take shots rather than us.
I agree.
Maybe even get you someone you can hide behind.
I leave it to the majority to determine who we like the most. These are all beautiful specimens.
Does the first creature speak? Or does it only understand?
It can speak some. It's not very smart.
Even better.
Yeah.
These
And it
guys
goes
are-
off of instinct of strength. It's
Yeah.
easier to
Control.
control.
These guys seem a little too tricky.
Hazelwick, how long will it take to get to the House of the Drinker?
Well, it's a bit hard to predict in this place, but well, let's see. From here, well, we have to finish getting out of here. We have to cross through 12 trees. We have to cross the Wicked Path, and then, assuming nothing's changed, we'll be there.
So it doesn't sound like a long trip.
There's a bit of a ways to go in the Flesh Forge still. 12 trees ought to be fast enough.
Who do you like amongst them? You are part of this party too. You get to make a vote.
Well, it's always good to have spellcasters in here.
Are you leaning towards
Sisterly
laughter or sisterly love?
Well, they both sound competent. More competence the better, but more of a handful if it goes wrong.
That is true.
Welcome to the abyss.
You have not made your final decision now.
Laughter might be a little easier to deal with than these two.
Yes, I am concerned about these two specifically. I don't get a good feeling on them. Of course, laughter has its own unique
Charms.
Mm-hmm. I do like the idea of having a spellcaster, though. So maybe we look at laughter
Okay, I'm open to that.
and see what this. They just feel a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little much. Maybe non-compliant's a good word.
None of these will be compliant.
They seem especially so.
They have each other. Having an ally makes you very dangerous.
Mm-hmm. So let's see what laughter's got.
A nice middle ground.
And I walk up to the one with laughter.
Uh-huh.
Laughter.
And she just kind of like looks at you and cocks a head.
My name is Asura.
Oh.
We are looking for a companion to join us on our journey of misfits and mayhem. Are you interested?
Sounds fun.
And you'll be good laughter and you'll listen to what we have to say, won't you?
I'm always good.
With a face like that, I can tell.
Am I pretty?
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I I slowly change my eyes into it's like watching like a sunset from like red to like this like deep like blue black.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are such a good girl. You will never do anything to harm me or mine. Isn't that correct?
I wouldn't dream of it.
I'm gonna insight that.
Yeah. I'll help you.
What's your insight?
My insight isn't that great. I only have a +1.
Okay, mine's +5. so
Imagine
we
us stealthing in place and then just hearing laughter.
Oh, okay. 22.
I'm just like hoping that I can just like make them just uncomfortable enough.
Yeah. So, in fact, go ahead and make an intimidation check on your part.
Is what I thought it was. Okay.
But I do at a but I can make it a +10.
What did you get?
I rolled a natural 1.
So don't you have that, like, jack of all trades or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
only
natural
so long
one's
as I
still a
don't
natural
roll a nat one.
It's a 2 to a 9 or 10, whatever.
Yeah, 10 is my like default. So long as I don't roll a 1, 10 is my base level. I tried.
Critical fail.
I really tried. I'm so sorry, guys.
Valen, you get a little bit different impression from her. Not trustworthy by any means, but like you don't even know if she fully comprehends where she is. Like she's more unhinged.
Ooh.
Like more amused at whatever Asura is saying than anything, and more of a, if you can keep her in line, fine, but if you just, she's more unpredictable, like less, she seems less intelligent's not the right word, but less scheming than this than Sisterly Love.
Like self-preservation is not part of her like thought process.
Yeah, more like in the moment, doing whatever she feels like in an unhinged way, kind of feeling.
So just chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if she's let loose or gets loose.
Yeah, I would not be the one who has to keep control of her.
Does she look strong though?
One of us would have to.
Physically, no.
I know, but I failed.
I mean, because we could, I mean, if she's a spellcaster, we could just try and tie her up until we get to where we need to go.
Here's also something that we need to make sure we consider is what happens when we're done with
Hopefully,
whatever.
by the end of the fight, she's dead.
And if not, we just leave her
Yeah,
to laugh at herself. I don't know.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted a spellcaster.
Yeah.
You say that, and she's like, "That'd be funny."
She likes you.
Well, do you think danger's fun as well?
What is it? Everything's fun.
See?
Well, good. Because we might just take you into some very dangerous situations.
We should find out if we can find some kind of shackles or something that will restrain anything that we get until we get there, and then we can just let it off the leash. And
We might have to wait 8 days. But we can go ask her.
But she's not strong, so if we could just tie her up.
We've got the rope.
Yeah. 30 feet, but
how much is this one?
You have to ask mistress.
yeah.
Let's go get prices. See what we need to have to shell out.
All right.
Thank you very much, Pet, for showing us.
Of course. So, starts shambling back down the hall, leads you through the two sets of doors.
Everything here is so terrible.
Yeah.
Back to the seamstress.
I will say that just me personally, I don't want to use laughter just because I don't want to have to look at that anymore. But me,
Yeah.
I'm sure Val probably doesn't want to either, but
Is that a different view? Or is it just frozen on that?
it might just be frozen.
It could be
So, so you return back into the seamstress's room, and she says, "Well, how did you like my wares?"
truly one of a kind.
Mm-hmm.
I have never seen anything quite so well made in all my life.
That's very kind, but flattery won't lower the price.
I understand the flattery was purely because I do believe that to be true.
Speaking of price,
We particularly found laughter very interesting. sisterly love was absolutely beautiful, but I think laughter would better serve our needs.
She has a very unique personality.
Very lively.
Could almost say she's a joy to be around.
I suppose so.
How do you feel?
Totally missing the joke.
Yeah.
or at least not laughing.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you say?
So how do you feel about laughter?
I think she's very useful to the right customer. I made her capable of magic.
Which was definitely a selling point for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's very useful for not just casting magic, but dispelling it, as well as making people invisible, or even just obscuring vision with fog.
Before we talk price, is there some kind of control mechanism that comes along?
Don't think you're strong enough.
Well, we're strong enough to kill her. And strong enough to have her do what we want. But that requires constant attention. That could be placed elsewhere. That's why we're curious.
Well, unlike the other creature you asked about, she's weak enough I could keep her in a crystal. And
Perfect.
you could
We
summon her.
That would be great.
Monster grenade?
Yeah.
What would be the price of a summoning apparatus?
It's not easy to make, but I do have one on hand.
Is it a one-time use?
You can unleash her once a day.
That'll be fine.
Keep her around.
And she returns to the crystal when you call her back, yes?
If you're strong enough.
I'll take that bet.
Can't have bad that.
What would be the asking price of her plus the crystal?
Well, that body you have looks quite nice.
Did we show that?
Yeah.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Plus everything else that we had laid out for you, yes? The dragon scales, everything else? Or just the body?
Yeah. Everything sounds good.
I'm gonna do an insight check to see if she's just like trying to pull one over on us.
Me too. I'm gonna do it with you.
Oh,
I'll help you.
Thank you. Not good.
yeah, mine's a 7, so
13.
Okay.
12. Sorry, it's 12. Yeah.
With a 12, I'd say you don't really know.
Yeah.
I mean, she's probably used to doing a lot of deals with a lot of crazy creatures and beings and people. So who knows if this is like the right price or not.
Yep.
And you're out of your depth. Trading flesh is not a
Yeah.
even in the slave sense in the material realm. This is not
Very different. Yep.
Would you be willing to take everything that we have shown you except for the body?
Roll a persuasion check.
Glad that the persuasive one's talking now.
I don't know if I'm persuasive.
Yeah, you have a high persuasion.
That's what I'm double checking.
I mean, I know it's not quite as high as deception, but it's still pretty high.
Oh, that's pretty high. Oh, that's nice. What is that? 27?
That's that
Okay,
baby. It's that baby face.
I suppose I'd be willing to part with laughter for either the other materials or the body. But if you want the crystal as well, it will have to be both.
Just give me a moment to converse.
Of course,
Thank you.
I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, I know it's gonna sound really messed up, but what if we offered her part of the body?
You want?
I just
Why would we only part with part of her body?
because it'd be nice to bring her back to the material plane and bury her or whatever her customs are. I mean, if we.
At this point, we are literally bringing back a torso.
But I mean, like, she's still her without a leg.
I don't think a leg's gonna do it here, though.
But I don't know.
I think she's getting bisected.
I'm just worried that she's gonna turn her into something.
She's definitely going to turn her into something.
Yes. So I don't know where the soul resides, but I don't think it's in the leg. If we just give her
Hazel actually laughs.
like, I mean, I know it sounds morbid, but everything here is really morbid.
I understand.
Mhm.
I have a lock of her hair in my pocket.
I mean, I really don't want that monster without the crystal. But
I understand.
I really don't want to, like, give her the whole body.
This is one of those hard decisions that we've got to make. What do we want more? Because you can ask, but I don't think an arm or a leg is going to do it here. I think.
And I realize we barely know Abuelita. I understand that.
She's just so sweet.
Yes. The last thing I want to do is bring back part of her in some grotesque way of serving her.
If you
She
don't
quite
want,
literally gave up everything for this mission.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is why we need to see it through.
and if you don't want to give it the body, we can go without the crystal. It's not my preference, but
It's hard enough to sleep in this place, man.
I'm just gonna look around the corner at the lady and be like, "Would you take a leg?" I just need to know because I have no context for what's going on, but based on just your conversation there.
Roll a persuasion check.
oh my gosh. We bring back Abuelita, and she's got one leg now, and
Does that
My
not make it,
persuasion is shit.
does that not make it worse somehow that like her one leg is still tied to the
14.
14.
It's like me giving up my blood.
Unknown territory here.
yeah.
I don't think that would be enough.
Okay. Well, that answers that. Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah. How about an arm?
What What about just the head?
If she's...
Talk about costing an arm and a leg.
I was waiting for that joke.
Yep.
I was
It's just
waiting
like
for...
dangling
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
yeah.
Yep, it's easy.
I mean-
Low-hanging fruit.
Uh-huh.
I do think she'd be willing to give herself to see this mission through. I mean, she already has. So,
Because at this point, if we're calling her soul back, at any point, it's not in this body. Her soul is already in line. She's waiting to be judged.
okay. Do we already have her pulled out? I'm assuming we put her back.
No, she's been on.
She's
She's
still
been
out?
laid out.
Okay.
Like everything has. Like I laid everything out, and it's been
Okay.
sitting there.
I would like to walk over to her body and search her pockets one more time. Just to make sure we're not Look, we've made worse mistakes.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was expecting like this really tender moment from Stuart.
I do have her inventory
Yeah.
in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Okay, we already got everything.
Yeah, we already pulled everything
Okay.
out.
I was like,
Think of-
I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna just give her a kiss on the. No, I'm gonna go over and search her body. one more
Yeah,
time.
Well, if we're gonna
No.
like, it's like, you know,
I
when
have-
you
I
take
have
your
her
rental car
inventory
back,
sitting in the
you,
bag of
you
holding.
double check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Don't leave an important document in the glove compartment.
yeah, right.
I get it.
Fill it up before you turn it.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, that's if you don't get the fuel thing before. Like,
I don't remember, so Stoic doesn't remember that they already took all of her inventory, so I'm gonna check her pockets.
I mean, did you take her equipment off of her?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because she had multiple magic items that she was attuned to when she died.
Uh huh.
So you could take those off.
And that's exactly what I'm looking for, is to make
Okay.
sure that there's nothing
Yeah.
of magic and
Invaluable still on
Yeah.
her.
Okay.
Because I don't think she wants that stuff. She just wants the flesh. So
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think that's going to be offensive to her.
Yeah, because
I'll-
that's different.
I'll go with you.
Because I would assume that like her staff and stuff would be in the bag, but
Yeah.
like what she's actually wearing, because she's got she's got multiple magic items. So then that way you can just say that you have everything.
Okay. Did you send me the list that had her what she was wearing too, or just what she was carrying?
I thought I sent you her full inventory, but
Can you just?
I still have her, so I could just at any point.
Check.
Yeah. Just we'll pull everything off.
Yeah.
Like I'll just go through her stuff and pull everything off.
Great.
Yeah. Then we'll pull off everything of like value and magic from her person.
Okay.
So she's just left as herself.
Okay.
And once we pull everything off and put everything stashed away, I'm just gonna kiss her forehead and just like whisper to her flesh, just, I am sorry and thank you.
Go for Howley over there.
No, I'm rolling for Rowan. This is all a lot.
Okay.
So Rowan is just trying to figure you guys out.
All right.
And I still have that lock over here that I snapped off earlier, or cut off earlier, in my pocket.
Okay. Do we have a bargain?
Yeah. I
Yes.
would say that we do.
Yes.
Excellent.
I hate everything about this. Sarah doesn't say anything, but like, Tara's like, oh god.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna change the landscape here. That's all. We're gonna find the demon of whatever and all the fun stuff.
So, so the seamstress then like kind of lifts a hand forward, and Abuelita's body kind of lifts up into the air and floats over toward her, and you see a couple more appendages come out, like, you know, with this kind of out of the eye, like out of the wall with eyes on the end, and kind of look over, and she says, "Oh yes, it's very nice indeed. I can do lots with this." And then she lifts her hand again, and you see what you didn't even see a door, but parts of the wall open up, and out you see this kind of black jewel, about a few inches tall and kind of sharp on both ends, floats over to whoever would like to take it.
Who thinks is strong enough to hold on to it?
I think it would come down to near Sarek, and I'm thinking probably
Not
Sarek.
Sarek.
Depends on what the
Valid.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Alan.
depends on what we're actually talking about strength here, but
Well, my actual strength is crap.
yeah,
Like, the physical stat strength is
I'll
crap.
take it.
So,
Yeah, I would take it.
You will have to. I'll make an item later for it.
Okay.
Basically, the way it works is you can. Enter enter and release once a day.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you release her twice, basically,
She can't go back in.
or it's off, rotation, so to speak, then she'll just be out with you. So, it's just kind of up to you how you want to do it. But she does say, just hold it up and command it to enter. It will work for certain the first time while you're here, but afterward it will be a matter of your will against hers.
Yeah, will is different than strength.
Yeah.
There are many kinds of strength.
Yeah.
What would will be in this regard?
I'm thinking for Constitution.
I guess we're gonna find out.
Yeah, we'll do it live.
Yeah.
I do not have good constitution.
I'm doing all right there.
I'm intelligent. I'm charismatic, and I'm very dexterous, but I have terrible constitution.
I got con.
It's probably be between the two of us then. Same here.
Will is probably going to be more along the lines of wisdom.
Which is not.
Yeah, Constitution
Yeah.
is still
Plus
physical.
5 on wisdom, yeah.
Yeah. You said what? Constitution is what?
Still
Yes.
physical.
Well, you'd said strength earlier, so we were kind of under the guise of who can physically withstand
Sure.
the other person more.
Sure. Well, and you don't know. I mean, there's
Yeah, there's
if you
different
could
ways.
physically wrestle them into submission, that might work too. It's like just there's lots of kinds of strength.
Mhm.
But yeah, my wisdom's only +1.
Will there be anything else?
Just safe passage out of your realm.
I can lead you out of the house. And if you're returning the way you came, that path is protected.
I do
Anywhere
believe-
else, you're on your own.
Just so long as there is not adversary amongst our agreement, that is all we ask. Everything else we will figure on our own.
I can only speak for myself. And I hope you'll be a repeat customer.
We certainly will keep you in mind should we need anything in future like this.
One more thing.
Yes?
If in your journey here you meet a Cybriex, you're not allowed to do any deals with them.
A Cybriex?
Mm-hmm.
Who is a Cybriex?
They are other demons. They're jealous. Hazel, just under his breath, is like, I'll explain later.
And I whispered him, should I agree to that?
Let's just say you have a lot more to worry about if we encounter one of them.
Understood.
But we would have to go seek them out, most likely, and we're not going to.
Okay. Understood.
Good. Then good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you
Yep.
for the quality of your craftsmanship.
Guess we need to go back to the gallery and collect our
Yeah.
new charge.
Our pet.
So Pat will escort you back into the gallery, to her cell.
Mm-hmm.
You hold up the crystal.
Yep. And enter.
You see a sort of dark purplish energy kind of swirl around her, and then she sort of becomes like that dark energy herself, and then into the crystal.
Pretty handy. Let's put that away for safekeeping.
You can,
Nice.
interestingly, as you look down at the crystal, as you look kind of closely, you can see within the crystal, almost like a stone floor that sort of fades off at the edges, and you can see her, kind of crouched down, looking around, and you can see she's just sort of laughing to herself as she looks around.
Great.
Cool. This place is creepy. All right, Hazelwick, lead us on. Time to go to the next, was it the 12 trees, whatever it was called?
12 trees.
12 trees, yes.
Pet, thank you very much for your hospitality. We very much appreciate it.
Of course. It was a pleasure.
The pleasure was all ours.
I'll show you out.
Thank you very much.
And so, Pat shambles down the hallway with you, and through a set of hallways and doors, and back down stairs, and leads you to a different entrance than you came, based on Hazelwick giving some instructions of the direction you guys are headed. It opens into another kind of set of caves, basically, apparently underground. It says, and he kind of opens the door to these caves and just says, "We hope you'll visit again soon."
Thank you.
Turns and shambles by. The doors kind of close on their own.
So just
It's
lets out
not
this,
like wood noise. It's like a.
Oh.
Asura just lets out this like rattling like exhale and just like wipes the sweat from her palms. Well,
The sooner we can get out of this place, the better.
yes.
I've never been so excited to see 13 trees in my life. And I'm sure this is not a good place, but this is terrible here.
The constant
offense.
sound.
It's the whole.
Almost worse than the constant smell. The smell, I feel like you go, oh, I can just ignore it. But when you're hearing all of it,
Is it like walking on a waterbed? Half the
Some
time?
parts of it are, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, just getting that.
Yeah.
no.
Other parts are somewhere between like a thick carpet or like a mattress, where it's like soft
and-
and, like you're-
Like there's a weird density, but it's still kind of
yeah, but it's still
caves a
definitely
little bit.
soft and yeah.
Let's go.
but like those thick, like the thick carpets, like the ones that have like the carpet padding underneath.
Like yeah, like a shag,
Yeah. I was about
Like
to
a
say, really, I'm
trampoline
trying not to
almost,
think
or
about the
just-
carpet.
Yeah, some parts of it, yeah. Little slight bounce.
I hate that you and I went there together. Please stop. Please turn off the
Yeah, I'm
brain
not
cell.
asking any more questions.
Turn off the brain cell. It's hurting me. Yeah, I immediately, obviously, our guide is taking lead, but I immediately kind of, high alert, because now I'm aware of those seams. I'm aware of, that we're not safe just because we made a deal with this person. The house was the only safe place for us, really.
Yep.
And that was tenuously safe.
Yeah. As long as we obeyed the rules.
Roll a perception check for me then.
Nat 20. So that's going to be a 30, perception 33.
All right. Okay, so you start making your way forward, I assume, casting some light to make your way forward and through this underground
I forgot we were underground.
organic cave.
Yeah, I did too. So are we going out the same door as we went in?
No,
No,
we're,
other way.
we
Other way.
exited a different door because we're heading in a different direction.
It's all still a tunnel. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So far.
What is a Cibrix?
Well, you think this place is gross. They're probably the most disgusting creation in all of the universe, perhaps. They're a sort of burbling brain of sorts with a face and tiny little arms and chains all about them, and they are constantly oozing bile and pus, and
Gross.
they're terrible. But they're also makers of demons, and there's been a bit of a rivalry between
They're made for
the Fleshsmith and the Cibrix for eons, I suppose. The Fleshforge is frankly better, but the Cibrix has created many terrible things themselves.
Quantity over quality kind of situation.
Yes, they're known for intelligence and holding secrets, and are always interested in lore that they can use.
Understood. Yes, I would like to avoid those.
Well, you typically have to go find them, and they're very well protected. And they by themselves are very difficult to fight for even the strongest.
Yeah, I would like to not do that.
Well, me neither. So, you guys continue walking forward. Is there anything you guys would like to accomplish or talk about as you go?
Nope. I'm just gonna try not to touch anything.
Who was her deity again?
Abuelita?
Uh-huh.
I don't think she ever said she had a deity.
While we're walking, I have my hand in my pocket and I'm kind of like brushing her hair with my thumb, and I just think towards Morin is the goddess of death, and I just think, Morin, please weigh her favorably and tell her I am sorry.
Okay. For some reason you come to mind as the funeral that you held for Fio with Iziri, where part of their funeral ritual is basically where she talked about his life, and then you remember her saying, Great Morin, all-seeing one, dark mirror, final justice, I stand witness before you for Fio's life. See my own and know the fruit of his goodness, judge him kindly.
I don't quite get the words right, but I definitely get the sense of please judge my mother's blood in me. for the light that she brought to me, for like what Abuelita brought to me, and then like basically a summation of like, and then weigh her.
Well, I think so. You would note she means not so much her own value, but what Fayu did for her.
Yeah,
so
but
using her own life as fruit of it.
yeah, but like there's a part of her that she's afraid that like if the reflection shows poorly, she doesn't want the reflection to be bad, even though it's not. So she's like, just judge my mom's side on this.